Jane Eastham. No,
That's right.
we'll do it again.
All those.
Your dad. Do it again.
Eastham.
Jane Eastham. All right, go. You know how many times I've done that? You know how many times I've done that,
No.
Jane? Probably never. That's the first time I've ever done that. Jane Eastham with Uncorked with Jane, correct?
Correct.
Welcome to the to Burn the Ship.
Thanks.
Glad to have you. So let's start out, and we also have my bodyguard Kellie here. So thank you for being here, Kellie.
No problem.
Absolutely.
Someone's got to protect you.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. So protecting me from myself. That's what my wife says. She says, somebody's got to protect you from yourself. So let's start out like early Jane. Where are you from?
I'm from Indianapolis.
And how long did you stay there? Tell me where you went to school, and then we'll get into Uncorked.
I grew up there. I went to school at Purdue University, and then
Boilermakers.
That's right, Boiler Up. And then I had a long career with Kimberly-Clark Corporation.
Yep.
Spent 30 years in corporate America, moving around.
What did you do for Kimberly-Clark? Because obviously that's an enormous company.
It is. I worked in pretty much every facet of the supply chain management. So whether it was manufacturing, production, shipping, warehousing, capacity planning, packaging, purchasing, contract manufacturing, you name it.
Everything except sales.
Everything except for sales.
So I know a guy that sold for Kimberly-Clark back in the day. I mean, he's one of the old mentors of mine, but he sold door to door for Kimberly-Clark back in the day.
That's way back in the day.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. This was probably the 70s, probably. So that's a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yep. So you worked there for 33 years, and you retired. Were you in Atlanta when you retired, or were you still up there?
No, Atlanta was my fourth stop with Kimberly-Clark, and I've been here for 21 years now, and I retired 4 years ago.
Congratulations!
Thanks.
And you went and got another job.
I did.
That's great. So you're in Alpharetta. Have you been living in Alpharetta since you moved here?
I do.
Alpharetta's awesome.
Yeah, Alpharetta is a really nice
It's
area.
growing like crazy. I moved there because it was quiet and it was close to the corporate office there, and I had plenty of space and no traffic.
Oh,
and,
yeah, but
joke's on you.
Yeah,
not anymore.
400 is hell.
Yes.
That's the worst road in Georgia. In and out. That's bad. I go 92 when I go to Priority a lot.
Yeah.
Because when you're going to get in back. I mean, it might be a little bit longer sometimes, but you know the time it's going to be. So you're in Alpharetta. You retire from Kimberly-Clark, from a huge corporation, and boom, you're into wine right away?
No.
Tell me the interim.
I was just enjoying my retired life. My husband and I are very active with the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. I've been a volunteer fundraiser and coach for them pretty much year in, year out since 2004 when I first got involved with that program.
Why that program?
I have some family history, a number of family members that we've lost to blood cancers. So when somebody told me about that program, I thought, what an awesome way to get out, meet people, do something that's health-related, fitness-related, and help raise money in honor of my cousin who died of leukemia as a teenager. And then subsequently learned that my grandfather had passed away from a blood cancer as well, and met a lot of other people who are either survivors or out of remission and didn't make it. So I just continued to be invested in that. And that's ultimately where I stumbled upon One Hope, because I wasn't looking for another job, but I saw somebody fundraising for the Leukemia Society via One Hope, and thought that was a new, unique way to support the fundraiser. And then I found out that
you could make money too.
That I could make money too, and I could support everybody's fundraisers.
That's great.
So that to me was just an awesome way to kind of solve a personal problem. Once I retired, I didn't have that corporate paycheck that I could write a nice donation check to everybody's charity, and it wasn't getting matched by corporate matching donations. So now I felt like I could help everybody with whatever fundraiser they wanted to do for any nonprofit by introducing them the opportunity to fundraise through wine.
Yeah.
You know what they say though? It's if you love what you do, you never have a job.
That's right.
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
consider this a
Yeah.
job. It's not even work. It's fun because it's
You get to drink wine.
wine.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Nobody is in a bad mood when they come to a wine gig.
If they drink like 10 bottles, then they get in a bad mood sometimes though, or the
Well,
next
that's
morning.
the next morning, and I don't have to deal with that.
Yeah. Then you could see my buddy Trent at Drips because he owns an IV
That's
company
right.
for that. So he comes to your house, gives you IV, you're good to go. Then you can drink more wine later that night.
There you go. It's a
know,
win-win.
Start the cycle all over again.
Yes,
That's how we keep
yes.
people in business.
That's it.
Thank you
That's
for that.
Yeah, absolutely. He'll even bring a truck to your house if you haven't many people. He's got a huge trailer, so that he'll you can put a whole bridesmaid crew in there and the bride and everything.
I may need
Grooms
to
and
call
all.
him.
See, there you go. So Uncorked. Tell me about that.
So when I signed up with One Hope and started giving people the opportunity to fundraise and buy wine and or join my team and help share the One Hope love all the way across, because I think everybody should be participating in this. The more people that are drinking One Hope, the more donations that are being made to nonprofits around the world. But I wanted to have a way to be a little unique so that people knew who I was and could remember me. So
Now, can you pick if you join in? You pick your charity that they go, so that it all goes to lymphoma and leukemia to you, or do they pick and choose who they want to?
any customer at all can pick any 501c3.
Oh, okay. So
And
if I buy, I can pick.
I can create a shopping portal for you where an additional 10% of everything you buy will go to the charity you choose.
Nice.
So if we did a nice patio fundraiser here, MP could pick which nonprofit they wanted to support. Anybody that came or purchased could contribute to that nonprofit.
We got the perfect spot here. So
do.
Yeah, we got the
do.
deck. We got a grill that we can do it at. We got video games in there if they want to do
They
that.
can
We got a
make
dart board. You know, people drink enough wine they want to throw some darts. I don't know if you saw that coming through here. We got that. I got a putter and some golf balls.
I was about to say, well,
all kinds of
we need to
stuff,
get some
man.
drywall or something for people that drink too much wine and they have to miss
Well,
the board a little bit.
But I'm perfect. I can do drywall now. You know that, right?
That's right.
No,
and
but-
everybody's
Look at
got
all-
an
Do you
Uber
see-
app on
hey,
their phone to
Tristan,
get them safely home.
does she
Right,
see any
exactly.
holes in these walls? Nope, because I drywalled them all. I did all the putty and everything.
Why do I feel like that was outsourced?
I promise you I did it all. Tristan.
You can still see its mess if you need proof.
No, it's not. It's good. You can't see anything over there.
Sure.
That's the cleanup crew. They didn't come. That's the cleanup crew. I sanded it down. Get out of here, son. Get out of here.
I was helping
No.
you out.
But we do. We have a perfect place here. So yeah, I did get a little, hammer happy in here. I had to learn how to drywall stuff fast. So I was knocking holes in this whole room. Yeah, we started this 10 months ago, so there was a lot of holes that really didn't need to be there, but I did them anyways. So I had to learn how to putty them. So yeah, so we could do that. Bring
Awesome.
them in.
Let's
Bring
do
them
it.
in. Yeah, let's do it. So tell me about. We'll get to the specific wine in a little bit, but tell me how that party goes.
I can cater an event to anyone's needs. So if somebody wants to do an in-person wine tasting event with their family, friends, neighbors, or a Wine Down Wednesday with a company that wants to kind of celebrate their employees in a hard week, I can come in. They'll pick a variety of wines that they want to try. I'll come in. I'll walk everybody through all the different wines, what their what taste profile they are, how their wine purchases are supporting different nonprofits around the world, and the one that they can contribute through there. We'll talk about each wine. We'll talk about all the impact. We'll have a great time. People can order whatever they want.
Is there music? Do you sing?
I
And dance?
do not sing.
She doesn't sing and dance.
I didn't say dance.
Oh,
I
you
said
dance.
I don't sing.
Okay, you dance. Okay.
I'm not
So you have a
afraid to dance. You would be afraid for me to sing.
Oh, you would be afraid. If you saw both of those coming from me, you'd be like, God almighty, this guy's got
I'm
problems.
not saying it's pretty, but I'll do
Start
it.
a 501c for him. we're tasting all the wines when we do this, and
We usually have a selection of about 6 because beyond that, people can't differentiate
Of
anymore
course.
what they're doing. But it's just enough to try enough and be responsible, get a flavor
Sure.
for what you like, what you don't like. We can do some snack pairings with them
Cool.
to get a feel for what works best with each wine.
Do y'all sell sausages and cheese too?
There are some gift boxes that
Mm-hmm.
have some snacks in there with them. We do a cookies and cab. We have a cheese lovers gift box. So we have different things that have some snacks in it. But mostly we're a wine company. Everything else we outsource.
When
Sure.
you're wine tasting, do you have like, when you go to Bath and Body Works and you smell 15 candles and you start to mix it up and you got to smell the coffee beans? Do you guys have something like that to break up the wines?
What I usually do, we start and do a logical order, just like if you were in Napa. So we're essentially bringing the Napa Valley tasting experience to you, wherever you want to be. But I always do recommend everybody has a little cup of water or some crackers. So if they start to get overloaded or they're, getting a little out of control on their own pairings, raiding the snack table.
We could
and
order
do
sushi that day and eat ginger.
Oh,
Ew.
Dude, ginger's
oh
what
no,
clear.
we can get some nice Sauvignon Blanc.
That-
with
Yeah,
that.
doesn't ginger?
ginger's disgusting.
That's what cleans your palate, right? The ginger
Yes.
chips.
I don't know if I do it between every
Wine?
wine, but some crackers and some water will work too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
That's the route that I would
I've just
take.
never seen it done with wine, so I think I just thought of something.
I think sushi
no.
would go with a certain set of wines, and then the rest of the way down we could find other fun things to
Right.
pair it
Yes,
with.
exactly. The cookies and cab sounds great.
Cookies and cab.
Anything to make me not eat ginger.
Cab. I read the other day that it's it was the biggest selling wine this year.
Cab is, if it's California, Cab is always king.
What's
Cab
nuts
is-
is I'm only responsible for just like half of those sales.
Yes.
Cab. So
Only half.
only half.
We have
Yes.
a whole portfolio of cabs too. The one that's in our tasting kit here is...
What are we tasting right here?
This is Pinot Noir. This is our Vintner Collection Pinot Noir. It's a really light-bodied Pinot.
It is.
You can taste a lot of the berries and fruit.
Yeah.
Little
I could drink a
cocoa,
lot of that.
a little sassafras. It's a really easy drinking wine.
Yeah, it is.
I call it very social.
Oh, you don't
because
have one. Ha ha. You're over by the technology.
He's going to come over here and get the rest of the bottle and have a lot of one.
Just turn it up.
Yep.
So yeah, this is a super easy drinking wine. I think it pairs with everything, but Pinot Noirs in general have a bit of an earthy flavor to them in the grapes, so they also pair really well with like anything with a mushroom sauce or truffles, whether it's a dessert or a dinner. If you've got mushrooms or truffles in it, you want to be drinking a Pinot Noir.
Sure. Real truffles. $1,000 a pound truffle.
Truffle flavored, maybe.
Yeah. It's
yeah.
interesting though, truffles though, right? That like you know how they find them, right?
I have no idea how they find them. I've
You know how they
tasted
find
them
them?
before.
With
but
pigs.
Tell her.
never-
With pigs.
Yeah, they have truffle
I'm
hunters.
sorry, what? Pigs?
So pigs root them out. They're basically mushrooms, but not mushrooms in the ground, and they're usually like I don't know a lot of it. The truffle people will probably kill me for not knowing this. It's like it's really like wine, right?
I'm gonna let you take the rest of it. 'cause-
Truffles are like wine. Like people, they're truffle snobs or coffee snobs or wine snobs.
Yeah, the
Truffles.
truffle
I thought
lovers
I
are going to
kicked
come after
something.
you, Jay.
Yeah, I don't care.
Truffle lovers are going to be leaving some comments.
I think I'll be able to take them. So these
That's not
Yeah.
really-
no, that's the
those aren't
chocolate
really
one.
truffles.
That's the truffle right there.
It looks like a rock.
Yeah. And the pigs, I think they're like 2 or 3 feet under, so they have to root them out. And they have to be trained. These pigs have to be trained, which pigs are very trainable, by the way. I don't know if you know that. Very smart.
Yeah, I didn't grow up on a pig farm, so no, I didn't.
Well, they're smart as dogs, right? So you can train them. Yeah, they are. They're very, very intelligent. And if they're not trained well, they'll ruin the truffle. So they have to get right there, pull them back where they can get the truffle.
Okay.
And then they sell them, and they're like $1,000 a pound.
That's
Very,
insane.
very expensive. Yes.
So where are they? Can you find truffles like anywhere? Is it certain parts of the world
No,
or
it's-
what?
I believe most of them are in Europe, like Scotland, Ireland. I don't know. Again, look up truffles and where they're found. I know just enough to be dangerous about this, and I've had truffles before. So, but they're like I said, they take them, they'll razor blade these things, and like there's $30.
Europe,
I'm
Asia,
talking-
North Africa.
Yeah.
North America.
So, dogfight. But Yeah. Oh, I
That's
wonder
cool.
if that dog probably, did they get the dog
Yeah,
to
it
do
looks
it?
like they have dogs doing it now.
Nice. They took over the pig's job. They're out of a job.
Poodles? Poodles do it?
That's not a poodle.
No?
No.
It looks
That's
like a cockapoo.
I think that's a doodle
That is
Yeah,
a
a
doodle.
doodle.
That is a doodle.
of some sort.
Yep. It's got that snout. That's why you could tell.
And the curly hair.
$10,000 nose.
Yep.
$15,000 nose. I
Look
don't
at that.
think so,
But
sir.
look, the things he digs up are $1,000 a pound.
That's insane. So what, they shave them?
Yeah, they'll take a little thing and with a razor blade and that's like $30. $30. I'm like, $30.
Great.
What makes it? Is it because the process of getting them?
Yes,
It's difficult.
finding them is very intense, and you can't find them, a lot of them at a time. So people just come back with, look at that dude has
He looks happy.
That dude has like $30,000 in his hands
he
right
said
now.
he said there's my mortgage for the next year.
Yeah. Yep.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
There you go. You learn something
So
new
yeah,
every
so
day here, don't you?
truffles
So
and
learned all about
wine.
truffles.
That's what you
That's
should
right.
do. Truffles and wine.
I just need a good pig so that I can find some truffles.
You can borrow Tristan. Dude, boom, did it.
I didn't say that for the record.
Yeah, you can borrow him. All right. So we're through the party. Let's get to the wine. Let's learn about that. Now you said Napa. That's where, is it white labeled or is it y'all's?
It is ours.
It's y'all's, okay.
It is the label itself may be white, but these are not.
But you understand what I mean,
Yeah, they're
yeah,
not
yeah.
private labeled. We're not
Okay.
outsourcing from anybody.
It's your vineyard. It's One
It's
Hope's
our
vineyard.
Every winemaker sources grapes from farmers,
Mm-hmm.
just like everything else. But the winemaker is the master chef behind each wine, and so she's finding the grapes, she's finding the right barrels,
Mm-hmm. Or
she's
he.
finding the right
Or
or
he.
he. Ours happens to be a she, so we're pretty psyched about that. She's one of the best around.
Females.
But
I know. Go
but
females.
that's the
Yes.
magic. The magic she calls the winemaker's spice rack is actually the barrels and how you age it, how long you ferment it, what kind of barrels you put it in.
And who is she?
She is Mari Wells Coyle. She's our head winemaker. She came to us from Sterling Vineyards, and she had a long,
I know Sterling,
illustrious
yeah.
career in front of that, where
Right.
she's also a very reputable wine judge
Mm.
and has done a lot. But she loved what One Hope stood for and what they were trying to do in nourishing the future
Yep.
and giving back with 100% of every purchase for others is just
Yeah.
painting the aisles pink in October,
Yeah.
which is awesome for one charity. And it's great that so many companies do it. But
It's important,
the
yeah.
founders were, their premise was, why just one charity? Why just 1 month?
Leave it to our customers. That's great.
That
Yeah.
let the customer side
wonderful.
will back up a whole lot of nonprofits, but then on top of that, customers can pick a charity that they want an additional donation to
Yeah,
go
that's
to.
awesome.
So,
Wonderful.
So yeah, so I
So
always
I'm
say every
assuming-
purchase can support multiple charities,
That's
and
right.
one of those can be yours.
I'm assuming that you flew out and you've been to the vineyard. You've met her. You took some sommelier classes.
I haven't taken sommelier
Oh.
classes yet.
When we get done, I'll give you some in there.
Okay,
I'm
thanks.
just
right.
kidding.
Yeah.
Here's
Thanks.
Baboon's Farm.
I have met Mari as well as all the founders a number of times. They're a young group and they're very open and gracious and fun and very supportive of the community of cause entrepreneurs like myself that are out there marketing their product and helping us make a huge impact around the world. To date, we've donated well over $6 million to charities
That's
around the world
incredible.
and charitable causes. And it really drew me into it and said, I'm kind of psyched to be a part of it.
That's great,
And,
Yeah.
you
And
know.
that's nice because like you said, you got into it through like your family history and stuff. That's like the same thing with everybody. Like I know there's charities that I'm drawn to because of my family history and troubles that my family has gone to. So being able to have a bottle of wine, have a little party, and still
Exactly.
go to
And
a great
say,
cause of something that
yeah.
I care about is great for your customers because it's something that they're passionate about.
So if you're going to have friends over and try some wine, you can still invite friends over and try some wine, but they can leave saying, I'd like to have some of that wine myself. Put an
Right.
order in for it. It'll show up on their door a few days later. And they've made a donation to a charity that's important to their friend and neighbor.
And when Kelly means have a bottle of wine, she means have a bottle of wine by herself.
Yes, that's exactly
She's
what I
very
mean.
stingy with a bottle of wine.
You get a much better price by the case. So hey,
That's fine.
we're
so
here for
listen,
you.
Jay, we can
We
split
are
it.
here for you.
Split the case or split the bottle?
Split the case, and by that I mean I get 80 and you get 20%.
Oh, that's a good deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, my lawyers looked at
That's how I'll do the business.
My lawyers looked at this contract. It's good. Just sign it.
Perfect.
I got it. Yeah, I got it. So tell me about the wines, the specific wines.
So we have a full portfolio that includes wines for every palate and every pocketbook. We have a full range of whites, a couple of rosés, a sparkling rosé, and a really wide range of reds, from Pinot Noir to Merlot, Cab Sauv, red blends. Some of our red blends, Mari happens to be the master of red blends. Our Vintner Collection red blend is 96 point rated, and our Hospitality Collection is 97 point rated
And
wine.
who rates them?
Different, reputable, because she's in the wine.
I mean, I
judging
would assume there's
business.
some kind of over factoring one thing that
You can
does it.
winemakers submit wines to different competitions and judging. So we have ratings from a number of different reputable sources like Wine Spectator, Wine. So these well done.
He's
So
awesome.
yeah,
isn't he?
so we are actually drinking the one on the far right, the Vintner Collection Pinot Noir, and this
What
is
took
where
you so
you can
long on
see.
that, by the way?
So we are the only.
So that bottle's $25.
It is.
That's not bad.
Unless you
Yeah, it's
add
not
it
bad.
to a case and you mix and match it and fill a case up with everything else, and then you're going to get 20% off. So we are the only Napa Valley winery where you can get 90 point rated bottles of wine or higher delivered to your
So that's
door
$21.
for $25
$21 on the case. $21 a bottle.
20.
Is it 20?
Yeah, check your math.
Okay. Sorry. Hey,
20%
edit that
off would
shit.
be $5. Well, I just say keep filling your cart up. You're going to get better and better wine for a lower price. People can create their own subscriptions. We have a typical wine club membership like every other winery does, where our winemaker will curate a 6-pack every quarter and send you some really unique and creative wines to try. Or customers can create their own subscription.
Mm-hmm.
I call it a DIY subscription, where they say, hey, I want 6 bottles to show up every other month, and I'll pick what I want in the case each time. And that gives them all these extra perks. It gives them free shipping on every purchase of wine all year round for 4 bottles or less. So
A month.
it's your subscription. You can do it your way. So you can set the frequency up to as
So I get 1 bottle of wine free shipping.
no, 4 bottles or more.
Or more,
Anytime
yeah,
you
yeah.
order 4 bottles or more, it's going to ship for free all year round, not just your subscription, but if you wanted to send 4 bottles to your mom for Mother's
Sure.
Day, you would get free shipping on that too, because you are a subscriber.
So if you got just the randos, because that's what I would do, I
Yep.
would be like, hey, give me just random. And you order if you're doing 4, you order 2 you know, 2 you don't know, so you can taste them.
That's a great way
that's
to
what
do
I
it.
would that's what I would do. And if you do that, so the problem is this: if you don't like the 2 randos, it's not a problem, because you can just screw it on really, really tight, give it to your neighbor, and they won't know. Because you just do a little bit and go, ooh, I don't like that, and just really get down on it.
And then pretend like you're a good neighbor.
So I would say invite
You
your
don't
neighbor.
pretend you are a good neighbor.
Oh,
I would
sorry,
just say
giving them your
invite your
leftovers and you
invite
don't
your
like it.
neighbor
Out of the
over
bottle.
to. I'd say invite them over and share it, or you could call your friendly wine person Jane and say,
See?
"Hey, this wasn't quite my gig," and I say, "Hey, maybe we need to try it with a different food. Maybe you can try it with this, or maybe it's the company. Sometimes wine just doesn't taste good because you're not really loving who you're drinking it with."
So you got some merch here too.
We do have a
Jeez.
little bit of merch. We're getting ready. We're rebranding right now.
You don't like who you're. Let's stop right there, real quick. Maybe you just don't like who you're drinking it with.
So
God, I love that.
Solid.
we always say wine.
Y'all
is-
just skipped over that. I'm like, well, let's stop right
Back
there.
it up.
So I'm just saying wine is an experience. So we're loving this wine because we're having fun. We're sitting here in a great time. If you were at a stagial meeting and you were not happy about being there and they're serving the wine, you probably wouldn't remember, or it may not have been the greatest tasting wine because you weren't yourself having a great time. People remember the wine based on the experience that was going on around it. So whether it's the weather, your friends, your mood, things like that, the wine complements the experience.
The atmosphere.
Total. Yeah.
For sure. No doubt. I love wine. I'm not like a connoisseur. Like I couldn't tell you what's in that, but I do like tasting different wines. Just like I like tasting different beers and liquors and whiskeys too.
Yeah, which is what's great about this, is because you can try so many different ones and they're very reasonably priced. We also have a happiness guarantee, so if there was something that you thought just wasn't right, or you really didn't like it and disappointed it, they'll send you something else.
That's really cool.
I drank some of it and I gave it to my neighbor and I twisted the cap on no touch. They didn't like it either.
They didn't like it. So I know that when you say that this is goes to a happy time, you're having a great time, the wine tastes good. I definitely recognize that with bad alcohol and bad wine and bad liquor too.
Sure.
I can't drink Fireball or I'm going to go back to my freshman year of college when I threw up that entire night, So I don't drink that anymore.
That's right. All right. So you got how many different, what's your cap? Do y'all change annually?
We do harvest, and Mari will make different creations with each harvest. So some of them need to age or will barrel for a little longer than others. So there's always new wines that are being launched and introduced. And like anything else, sometimes a really good wine will sell out because it's a really good wine.
Sure.
And because it's wine, it was harvested at a certain time, and so many bottles were filled with those grapes from that harvest, and it is what it is. So then you have to wait for the next ones to be ready to go. But there's so many in the portfolio to choose from and try. But we've always got a really nice, healthy selection. So I could think when he was scrolling up there, the Paso Robles Cabernet was currently out of stock. So we just got to be patient and wait for the next one to incubate.
And every year tastes different too.
They will, because the grapes
taste
were under different environments.
The
and
weather was
circumstances.
different, and the freeze went this time or that time, or there was a freeze, or the actual earth, the dirt is different.
Right. So you can get a little more consistent with a bottle of wine like we're drinking here in our Vintner collection, because it's a California wine. So our winemaker, being a good chef of making wine, she can select the grapes from the right places, the right times, age it just the right way to make the next year's wine, or to continually have a supply of wine that tastes very accurate, very close to the same. If it is a Paso Robles or Russian River or Napa Valley, where the grapes have to come from that viticultural area because that's the bottle and that's the taste people are looking for, in those cases it will vary because like you said, the weather, or maybe there weren't very many grapes available because of horrible forest, fires that came through the area and impacted a lot of the grape supply, whether it was through smoke or water damage or just or fire taking down the vines. So those vines are going to evolve as well. And good winemakers will find a way to take their winemaker's spice rack with barrels and aging and different things and come up with something beautiful and unique out of those grapes too.
What a cool job. That's awesome.
Have you been to Italy?
I have.
It's awesome, man. That's just like wine country, obviously, but we did a lot of wine tasting in Italy. Me and my wife 2 years ago. Not last summer. We didn't go there last summer. Summer before last. We'd have been there for a while then, right?
Yeah, you would have been stuck. I wouldn't have complained.
Yeah, you would have.
Until you ran out of money. Couldn't get home.
Dude, it's not that expensive. It like
Isn't it like the flight is the most expensive part of it?
But that's what I'm saying. It was. I mean, you don't buy glasses of wine at a restaurant. You buy bottles because they're freaking $8.
Yeah, that makes sense.
At a restaurant. So yes, the euro, the exchange is not right, but me and Allison spent way less money per meal, and I'm talking about nice meals, way less. The food is less expensive there. The wine, you can buy great wine at a grocery store for $4 a bottle. That's double for the cheap bottle of wine here.
Right.
You know, I guess what's Mr. Wonderful say on Shark Tank? Most bottles are sold between $12 and $15, like 80% of bottled wine in America, and then you got your $20 to $30, which is the higher premium wine. And then you got your $8 bottles that'll give you an $8 headache in the morning for sure. You'll need the IV then. So how much per bottle gets kicked back to the charity?
So we take profit is always variable per bottle, but so our foundation allocates us pretty significant portion of the proceeds from each bottle to the foundation, which is then giving to all kinds of charitable causes that support health and clean drinking water and education. And then any event or a unique shopping portal that I would create for you, an additional 10% of every purchase will go to your 501c3 of choice.
Okay.
So a solid 10% goes to what you want, and then One Hope is
So
doing miraculous
10%.
things.
So 10% of the bottle would go to yours.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's a direct number. That's what I like.
Yeah.
So because there are a lot of charities like we're going to give a portion to it, but then you never know the
Right.
portion. So if you
What
say
is the
10%,
portion? 1%, 2%?
True, and that's where One Hope, being great, initially said they were going to give X percent, but it's hard to do that when packaging costs are changing, fuel costs is changing,
Gas, yes.
and all the other variables that go into it, or a sale is going on. So your 50% of your proceeds may be this dollar this month and next dollar that month. So we try to report our impact and what we've been doing with the donations that we're giving so that it is something tangible. We've covered the adoption cost for 86,000 animals going through foster care. We've covered training costs for this many X number of veterans that are working for Team Rubicon. We've fed over 3 million meals to kids who are underserved. And we track all the numbers through the overriding nonprofits that our foundation supports continually. We sent out care packages to healthcare heroes during the early pandemic. We gave micro grants to women in hospitality who lost their jobs because all the hospitality industry was shut down. So we track our impact reporting those things. And then we track how much money we've given to local nonprofits through events or corporate or client gifting. If some business wants to share with their clients a gift box or a wine flight and do a virtual wine tasting or anything, they can give 10% of that purchase to a charity of their choice as well. So we track how many unique nonprofits we've given funds to and how many funds we give each month based on purchases that are done because somebody wanted to support a specific cause.
Cool. That's awesome. Well, really, thank you for coming. We
Thanks for
appreciate
having
it.
me.
So a couple things is, how can we get a hold of you? Website, email, phone number, all that.
Yep. I am on all the social media sites as Uncork with Jane on Instagram and Facebook. I'm in LinkedIn as Jane Eastham. You can find me there. You can email me at jane@uncorkwithjane.com. You can shop at uncorkwithjane.com to go see that. You can do it. There's an interactive link if you want to reach out to me to schedule a wine tasting or to have a social hour or to do something virtually online.
Sure.
All those are available options, and I'd be happy to help.
So referrals. So if I wanted to give you a referral, I always pop in my head of who would be a good referral for you. I figure any person that's going to get married this year it's great gift for them, right? Real estate agents that are selling a house. It's a good thank you.
It is, and we can customize bottles. We had this bottle up here that's a wedding. Happily ever after, but we can put business logos on
I love you
on the box.
On the box, yeah.
But we can also custom logo those silver or gold bottles with your business logo or a bride and groom's wedding hashtag.
Sure.
You can put your wedding's name on it. You can do any of those things. We also
What's your wedding name going to be called? Soup sandwich. Name the soup sandwich at your wedding.
Sure. It won't be for like another, I'm assuming like 30 years.
30?
So I'll let you know when we get there, though.
Better have kids before that.
You think I'm on track? No.
You'll be done. You can't have kids at 54. I'm just saying.
That's why we adopt.
Look at that math.
Listen, there's a lot of dogs that need homes. So
Hey,
those
that's
will be my
right.
kids.
And some of my best fundraising groups are animal rescue groups.
Love it.
I have 2 animal rescue
Booster
dogs.
programs.
Booster programs, PTAs, PTOs, church groups, anybody that's got a 501c3. But we, like I said, we also have a Happy Mother's Day bottle that's out there. We have ones that are just cheers to you. Realtors or brokers could put their own business label on it. We could put, burn the ship on some
How often
bottles
do
and
they
give it to all your
fund the
customers.
501c? Is it monthly or is it annually?
As soon as we close out an event and stop taking sales from that website, the check will be sent to the nonprofit of choice the very next month.
Oh, so it's monthly then.
It can be. So
Oh, okay.
it's however
That's
long
great.
we want to keep taking orders. When we stop taking orders through that link, they'll send the check. And then if we want to open up another one to start, generating donations again,
Sweet.
we can do that too.
Cool. Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having
we
me.
appreciate it.
Cheers.
Yeah. Cheers.
Yeah,
Everybody
cheers.
cheers. Yep. Everybody be kind to each other.
Drink your wine.
That's right.